As a musician, that's the sort of shit that people like say, "Oh, you're a hypocrite," because obviously they pay their least. But it's just easier to navigate. I have both though. So
okay.
It's one of those.
Okay, as an artist, which one do you prefer?
Spotify. The data's better. You can see like what's doing well, where, who's streaming your stuff, and etc. So it's better.
What, you don't get none of that on Apple?
Nah, you do, but it's not as in depth. It's really like surface level, which is kind of annoying. Whereas like Spotify, you get like pinpoint, like
so like
this
cities.
Day, do you know what I mean? This day, this cities, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Which is good.
Fair. Fair. But we're inside, man. We're back.
Sick,
your boys. And this is how we're starting.
Knock down what you got for me.
Yeah.
I'm all good, don't worry about it. It's not the same now, you're not around. Call me falling, that's not fair. I'll move up, just tell me where. Yeah. Summer turns, I think that my heart's split. I play this wrong, there's no doubt about it. I shout it, I'm feeling like you should be there. It's like this love is now unfair. Yeah. After it all, you're the one I call. You're the one I do. The one I still adore. I'm all good, don't worry about me. It's cold in here, but round me above trees.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
feeling like the sun is near.
Skankers.
Trust.
You know what I'm saying?
That's after.
You know, that's the first time I've listened to that song with other people around, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Really?
like, yeah, honestly, like I'm not one of those. I don't really like play my stuff to people to see what they think. But I need to. But that's the first time I've actually like looked around and been like, all right, cool. Like, people like,
What is
People
there like a
vibing.
particular reason why you just don't play your music to other people, or is it just like your own process
I think
of making it?
honestly, I'm a bit of and I don't mean to be, I'm a bit of a lone wolf when it comes to music making. I started this thing in my bedroom on my own, like most people do, but like I'm not, when it comes to art, I don't like showing people my art. I like, for time, I had like hard drives and stuff, and I'd never, like, no one would ever hear them, like, for time, and then it was only just randomly one day I was like, do you know what, let me put this on TuneCore, and then put it out, and that was like the first day that I'd shown stuff to people at all.
What, so people knew you made music, but they just hadn't heard anything?
People didn't even know I made music. That's why. That's how it kind of went down. Like, no one even.
So when was your first drop?
2019.
Okay.
A track called Sinners, which isn't out at the moment, but like I just kind of wrote it, and then just like someone told me about TuneCore, and I didn't know about TuneCore. I just thought it was SoundCloud, and that's it. So I was like, I'm gonna put this track on it, like, sick. Not thinking I'll do anything, not thinking anyone would listen to it. And then after that, I did You Good, and then You Good was just like, that was a bit of a mad one, because I went from 0 people listening to my stuff to like London radio, like Radar radio played like You Good, like, do you know what I mean? Which is crazy.
They got Radar, actually, man.
Yeah.
Radar's a bit mad. Big up for what they did. But yeah, that's mad though. So you went, so since 12, you didn't let anybody know?
Nah, man. I've been just playing. Like, obviously, I could play instruments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's it. But I'd be in my yard just making music and no one would hear that ever because, like, I was just embarrassed, fam. Like, do you know what I mean?
But why? This is something you're creating. So obviously, like, this is something that you're willing to do, innit?
Yeah,
I think
It's but say what you're saying.
Nah, go on.
no, I hear it though because with art, like, it's all about getting confidence to being happy as to where you are in your creating process, isn't it? So obviously, you said you made did instruments and whatnot, but actually rapping now and creating songs and everything, completely different to just playing an instrument, isn't it?
100%.
So-
And I saw this video the other day where they were like, oh, when you start making something or being a creative, it's not going to be good. Like, do you know what I mean? Your taste level and what you're able to like
Exactly,
do
deliver,
is like is two different things, right?
Yeah.
And then the more you do it, the closer to that taste level you come. Whereas I maybe like saw my taste level, like, or the things I was enjoying were like, do you know what I mean, Stevie were like, do you know what I mean, like all the way up there, and I was like, I ain't putting nothing out unless it's like I like, do you know what I mean?
I hear that.
So I think that's kind of why. And then in 2019 I was like, do you know what, let's do this thing. Actually, do you know, my friend, I got a friend called Daya, shout out Daya, don't know if you guys have heard of her.
Wait, yes. PJ goes on about her. She raps and sings, innit?
Yeah. She's gully, like, she's gully,
Yeah.
like, so sick. And we're from the same ends, like, do you know what I mean? So we were in Nando's once, and she was like, Lem, I'm gonna do this music thing. I was like, swear? She was like, yeah. I was like, alright, I might do it too. And she was like, come. And then, like, honestly, I'm not even joking, that was day one for both of us. Like, that's when it then started kind of
sick.
moving from there.
And so what, before that, was you making beats or anything, or did you?
Yeah, so I was making like grime instrumentals and stuff like that for like some of the Bristol kids, and then some of like the kids in Wales as well. But it wasn't that. The scene wasn't that big then, if that makes sense. There wasn't many people doing that. Whereas over the bridge, there were like bare heads, like on that whole grime thing.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just like a producer then, and just like making beats for them.
Okay. So, I mean, there's two things I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned Stevie, and then you also mentioned like Bristol and Wales. I don't know why I want to. Well, actually, first, tell us about where you're from and like background and whatnot.
Cool.
Like,
So
where you're raised, etc.
I'm from a place called Newport. If you can't tell by my accent, that's what we sound like. You know what I mean? So what happened? Like, just quick history lesson. With the whole Windrush movement, they all came through the docks in it before they went to the rest of the UK. Like, so the docks, like Newport was the place, Newport or Liverpool were the places the boats would come in before they went elsewhere. So to Birmingham, to London.
Does this mean you're Jamaican?
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
And then, but obviously, like, they still had a community there in Wales. So there's a big like Jamaican and West Indian community in Wales. Yeah, massive,
I didn't know that.
massive. Because some of them were just like, I just work on the docks. I ain't going all the way to London. I ain't going all the way to Birmingham. Do you know what I mean? I just work here. Like, there's work here. So that's where my grandparents did that. But they also back in Jamaica used to be part of this church called New Tea. So they were like one of the first ones to set up a New Testament church of God in the UK, basically.
Okay.
And then that like, so their area was like Newport, Cardiff, and Bristol. And then so that's kind of just like grew up there. My parents were from there. And then we kind of moved out a little bit away from Newport. So there was a place called Pilquentley, moved to St. Julian's, and then moved out to the sticks because my parents are like, we need to get these kids out of. It's a bit mad.
The ghetto.
And then from there, that's it. Like, I've been making music. My parents are musical. Everyone in my family's musical. My grandparents were musical. So
musical in what way? Like, they play instruments?
all play instruments.
What do they play?
My dad's the baddest guitarist. I know I'm biased, but like, honestly, He was my guitarist for a while. That's how
Same.
sick he is.
That's like my housemate actually.
Yeah, he was sick, and then my auntie was a session singer. She's now in California doing her thing. And then I got my uncles all played like either keys, guitar, or whatever. So man, I was forced into it. Do you know what I mean? I had no choice.
Yeah. And so you've been around music like most of your life and all of that.
Oh, since I remember, yeah.
Yeah, I seen that your first concert was a Stevie Wonder one. I was like, broski, to have that as your first concert, is insane. Because not a lot of people get to see
greatness like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's mad. Like, what did that do for you?
Oh, you wouldn't believe, boys. Like I can remember that day. Can you swear on this?
Bro, dude, man.
I remember that day. I was being the biggest dickhead ever because it was my mum's birthday, and I can remember like. I just didn't want to go. I wanted to go like with my boys, like, do you know what I mean? Go out. Anyway, they dragged me. Like they were like it's your mum's birthday, and I was being a little fucking prick. And then I can remember getting there. Even whilst I was there, I was pissed off like that because like I wanted to go play football. And then I sat there and I saw this blind man walk to like get escorted to these keys, right? Like walking on, this woman had to like hold him. He sat down and then fucked the place up, and I just was I can remember exactly where we were. It was in Birmingham NEC, and I was like, we were to the like left of this, so the stage is there and we're to the left, and I'm just looking down and I'm like, this is insane. This is insane. And the difference was like, obviously I'd listened to Hotter Than July and all like Talking Book, all the Stevie stuff. I'd heard it growing up and etc. I knew all the songs. When you sit there and you watch that guy do what he's doing, there is another level. There's another level to like music. Do you know what I mean? There's than just sitting to it and like enjoying it. There was something that hit me that day that I looked at him and was like, this is the shit I want to do. This is it. This is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That's insane.
You got one of the skits you talk about. You wanna make. I think it's the intro. You talk about you wanna make music that people feel.
Yes.
And that makes sense in terms of like your background, like you said, like how you listen to music and what music you kind of got into and whatnot. What other like type of like influences or would you have that helps you create? Do you know what I mean?
I like digest the arts as a whole, man. Like I watch films, I go to galleries and stuff like that, and live life. Like I genuinely think most of the things I want to talk about, or most of the things I talk about, are through just the shit I've experienced. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the creative like spark. Then the other thing is, sometimes you need like a little push, like visually. For example, if I see a film, I'm like, yo, this film's sick, or like, do you know what I mean? That's kind of what pushes me over the edge, and then I'm like, right, I need to go and create something that makes me feel like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you got one of the tracks called Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, are you like a Tarantino fan like that? Like,
yeah. Do you know what? I am, and I actually think that's his best film. I genuinely, like in terms of character development and storyline, I'm like, yo, this film is obviously
okay. You're right.
Inglourious Basterds is sick, like Jeremy Butler.
Fantastic.
But that, just the way it makes you feel throughout the whole of it. Top tier.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We actually changed the name of that song from Jackie Brown because I didn't kind of like, even though I wanted people to, it's that feel, right? I didn't want people to get it. I wanted people to get there on their own. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what it has? People have been like, oh, do you know what? This track sounds like some Tarantino shit. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, come on, like, cool. But we then changed it. We changed it to a track called PSG Flow.
Yeah.
Which an exclusive here now is, most people think it's like PSG the club, right?
Yeah.
But there's a song called Poisin Galou by two Welsh rappers, right? It's in Welsh, and it's pure vibes, right? And it's just like straight up like, great. And like, so if you're Welsh, you're like, yo, that's like, so the little skit at the front of it where he's Poissy, never heard someone say Poissy Gallo, PSG, Mbappe and that. He's one of the rappers from it, so like the Welsh would know that's Lloyd, like genuinely, So
that's
yeah,
cool.
it's one of those.
That's different.
Cold stuff.
Yeah, because I was trying to place. I was like, wait, PSG, but it doesn't make much reference to the actual team. So I was like, okay, but fair play still. But yeah, on that track, you do the hook in it. Where is that flow from? Because I swear I've heard it before.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you know what?
Something similar.
So we were in the studio with Luca V and Marino, and I produced that track for them, just for them. I was like, we did it on the spot, and I was like, made it. And then they were like, oh, do you want to jump on? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I've got anything to say. And then I was like, but I knew how this track made me feel, right? Yeah. So I was like, in the rave, like I know your mother. And then they were like,
it's a cold fluid.
They were like, alright, cool. Nah, that needs to go on. So we just But
that's probably one of my favourite opening lines or hooks that you got on here still. Steps in the rave like I know your mother is crazy.
That's great.
That's
crazy. That's a big step, you know what I'm saying?
It's because like you can't chat to no one that's stepping in the rave like they know your mum. Like, you can't. What are you gonna say to the
and then what's the bar after? Is like if you don't pay, you're gonna find another.
If I ain't getting paid, then you'll find another.
Yeah. I was like, I need that.
Which is like the energy I was on this year, man. I was just like, listen, if the money ain't there, don't worry.
I hear you, man. Gotta know your worth.
100%.
Yeah, word.
Cost of living, fam. Jeez, it's hard out here.
Literally.
It's difficult already, but yeah,
man.
Times are tough, bro.
Literally.
But yeah, man.
That's cold.
So on the lines of producing, you've been producing from 12.
Yeah.
Is it literally like grime that you started up on, and then as time progressed, you started to get into other things, or is it just like your love for grime?
Oh, do you know what? I
kept you going.
So, we had like a broken version or like a cracked version of Fruity Loops, right? And I can remember that's what I started on before like moving to Logic. But what you realise when you start producing is you're probably going to be dead at it, like, do you know what I mean? So there was like, obviously I wanted to make these insane things. I wanted to like, do you know, my head was like, oh, I'm gonna make the next Justified, like, do you know what I mean, like that. But it didn't sound like that. And then what you find is like the beauty of grime and what made it so great was the simplicity of getting the most out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like most of your favorite grime beats, like the Esky beats, like back in the day and all them, like, do you know what I mean? Like they're very simple and do like do you know what I mean? There's like usually three things to it. You got a beat, you got your bass line, and then you got some sort of melody in there as well. That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? So then when a few of like the boys were like, yo, we're gonna like start rapping. Can you make us some beats? I was like, yeah, like I'll try. And then grime was the thing. That was the thing then. It was like you were like in the back of the bus.
Can I just ask your age?
Yeah, I'm 29.
Okay, okay, same age, fair, cool.
Okay, cool.
That makes sense.
So who were you, man, listening to back then?
Back then, so I was listening to Chip was the guy for me. Gets was the guy. Like this is the like Gets, Chip. Stormzy had just started doing his like thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Back with the shut up days. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like a bit like
I'll talk secondary school days.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So what about D Double?
I did like D Double, but like he wasn't for me. Like obviously the rest of the boys, they were like D-double, like he was just a cultural icon right from the day. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like the way that Kano, the way that Chip, the way that Gets like used to spit was the thing that like caught. Do you know what I mean? That caught me. Like that was. I feel like I didn't even honestly, and I'm gonna get absolutely fucked for this, but I didn't rate Dizzy at all. Like I just didn't think like compared to these guys.
Wait, you didn't rate who, sorry?
Dizzy Rascal.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I just didn't like. I was like, and I'm.
That's something.
Do you know
I
what?
hear that.
And I think like
luck.
sometimes I say it and I'm like, oh, that's a mad. And I go back and I listen to Boy in the Corner and I'm like, all right, sick. But for bars.
You just prefer something different. You prefer.
hear
What do you prefer? Like the more lyrical.
Oh my gosh, I
The
thought.
more lyrical guys.
I think Chip's one of the greatest like barrers
Same.
ever.
Yeah,
Like, do you know what I mean?
same.
Gets like some of the stuff he says. The
Yeah.
storytelling on
Yeah.
Gets is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, facts.
People can't like people just think,
Facts.
oh, like there was this guy taking the piss out of him on a story once where it's like Gets when he finds out you put milk in before the cereal.
Oh
or
yeah,
something
names
like that.
list. Yeah,
Yeah.
Names List,
And he gets the flow right, but
Yeah.
people don't understand the art that man had, and to be able to be like able to like be pissed off that much on a track, like, do you know what I mean? Which is like his cadence, his diction, everything was like same with Kano. I heard a thing about Kano the other day that you'll never find a song where he's repeated a word on. Never find one song where he's repeated like a rhyme on. He don't do
That's
it.
true.
He don't do it. And I went back and I checked the tapes and I was like, this man don't do it.
What do you mean he don't repeat a bar?
So say you bar
like a gram flow type thing.
Like a wheel-up bar, for example.
like archery and car for me, you never see him use me or archery again as a rhyme at the end of like do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I literally just made that on the spot as well, by the way, guys. When I said archery, I was like, fuck it, like I'll think about
It works.
he would never then like repeat, where some people would be like asked to that's you something two again, like do you know what I mean, where the twos repeat themselves. He doesn't do that. He never does it. He'll find another way.
Yeah, Kano's one of them monsters.
Bro, he's a master though. Like Gets for me, he's like one of them guys that I don't know. He just, you know, when man are just born for this shit. Like,
Yeah.
he's one of them ones.
And do you know what?
Like-
And I'm back to my original statement where I said I didn't rate Dizzy.
No.
I think as a kid I had an ear for like the ones that are like the ones, right?
Yeah.
What I found is if we're looking around today, the people that were like a masters are Gets, Chip, Kano. Do you know what I mean? Like we're like, whereas at the time, there's a quote on a Drake song where he's like, all this other shit is here today, gone tomorrow. Like, do you know what I mean? And that is so true with like things like that, where you take a look at, Dizzy, I Love You, sick. That second project that he did as well, sick. But then after that, man, all of his stuff was tired. Do you know what I mean?
I feel it went towards pop, and then now he's come back to like his roots of grime and like loving.
He kind of
like,
in recent times.
What's the music that he loves? Like it's US inspired. What's the place?
The dubs.
Is it Houston inspired as well?
Who,
but
Dizzy Rascal?
Dizzy, yeah, man.
Does Houston style music?
He fucks with that.
Do you know what though?
I don't know them songs though.
I will just like say like Dizzy pioneered the whole thing. Like he broke the he was the first one in the charts with grime. He was the first one that kind of broke those ceilings. So like props to that man for what he did.
Yeah.
But when it just comes to like the art, I'm like kind of talking now. I think like Gets his last project was Mozambique, fam.
Phenomenal.
As a lead single.
Phenomenal.
Are you mad?
Yeah, phenomenal.
Charting with that as well.
Yeah, it's Crazy.
Gets is really him still.
Gets his, yeah.
He
like,
is, isn't it?
He's one of the ones you know he's put in his 10,000 hours.
Oh,
like they say.
100%.
Like 1,000%.
Like,
100%.
Yeah, a master, man.
But yeah, that's kind of like what I was like grown into. I was obsessed with grime, but I was also obsessed with like what was going on in the States with like the Neptunes. I was I learned my craft from them guys. Like I would sit and digest. I would like take apart their songs. I'd be like, how did they get to this? Blah blah blah. So yeah, that's kind of what I was like battling with at the time, the popularity of grime and where it was, and then Pharrell and his mastery and yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, taking it back to the project, I want us to talk about the production on here. Like, did you produce? You produced
Every song,
Cold. So how does that work then for you? Like you said, you started from the beginning that you do it in house, like in your room and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like? I mean, you've even said that you kind of take inspiration. You kind of wanna go and create something like this. But what was the process like when you first came to creating this project? Where did you start?
Should I tell you the cool reason or the not so cool reason?
Not so cool.
The not so cool reason was I was coming off the back of just like a shit fuckery year, bro. Like I just was taking L's on L's on L's. The Pursuit, I put that out, and like just nothing came together. You know, as an artist, sometimes you put it out and you're like, oh, yeah, this is my break. This is gonna be the one. This is it. And like nothing came from that. The relationship I was in at the time wasn't working out. Another L. I had to move back to London because I was at home at the time, and I was like, if I'm honest, I didn't want to come back to London. Do you know what I mean? But it was one of those. And then I met one of my friends, Grades. So incredible producer, and this is actually one of the biggest name drops I have in my
Wait,
art.
I've heard of Grades.
Yeah, the guy that produced Neo's.
Yes. What is it, Saturn?
And that whole album before he produced as well. So Bad Blood.
Yeah, Bad Blood.
The Sinead Harnett, If You Let Me. He produced that. Her album he was producing as well. Honestly, incredible, nicest human being, and I was like. I put on my story like looking for a space, like because I was ready. I had a lot to say. I had a lot to write. Looking for a space in London. Anyone let me know. Blah blah blah. And he just messaged me. He was like, "Oh, I'll come to my studio. We can share it." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah. Come down." Like, and the space is incredible. Like it was just so good, and especially like he's got all these like plaques and Grammys on the wall. And I can just remember being in that area, being like, right, every time something wasn't good for me, sometimes I'd just be like, oh, fuck it, man, I can't be asked to re-record that. But then I look up and I just see the fucking Grammy there, and I'm like, re-record that shit. Re-record that shit.
It was a different hunger.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It did. It was really like, and I think that changed a lot. But then, that was the first track I wrote, was... I want to say Into the Storm was the first one.
Okay.
Where I was just kind of just like, I knew how I felt. I knew how I wanted this project to feel. And then, that was it. So that was, the first track.
What about the drums? Like there's a lot of like, in terms of the sound on here, for me it felt like there's it felt like, I don't know how to explain it, but like scenic type, like it gave like a scenic type feel. Like some moments felt like you're kind of like transcending to like a certain place, similar to the artwork, really, innit?
Yeah.
But like it felt like I don't know how to explain. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Like, but with the loose drums and the synths and stuff like that, it felt like kind of like going somewhere type thing. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I am. That's a weird. I listen to a lot of music. Even though I mentioned at the beginning the two main ones, I listen to bare, man. Like, every day. I used to have this thing where I'd New Music Friday come out and like all the albums, and I'd listen to every album that dropped on that day because I just like wanted to just hear things.
Even if you never heard of them.
Yeah, even if, especially if I never heard of them. If I hadn't heard of them, I'm like, I'm clicking that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I ended up like gravitating to a lot of like electronic music, a lot of like synth-based stuff, and etc. And like what they do well is like find moments in the pocket where like it just brings you to another place. James Blake is a great example of this. Like, by the way, he's just the way that he's able to just be like, all right, cool, I've given you this. What if we like just take some of this and put it here and like push it up a little bit, right? So that's kind of like the space I was in. But honestly, like I'm a drummer first, so like I'd say my strongest instrument is like being able to play kit. But the melody like that I've heard when I come over, like that still pulls me in. So like obviously like you talked about the drums, I then think, all right, where's the space? Where's the space for air? Where's the space to breathe? And that's where I find it in the synths and stuff like that.
Oh, sick. Cool.
Yeah, I feel like on here as well, going back to the production, like it feels like almost like an infusion of like gospel and grime as well. Like I don't know, man. It comes together like pretty well. Like I can't like for example on the song 1 second, on the song Sad Boys Club, like audio wise that shit is beautiful, innit? Like the way it transcends the organs come in and whatnot, but like it's actually a pretty sad song. Like you're talking about a loss. I don't know, it was a loss of a friend or
so like I'd say I'm one of those people that I've like, obviously everyone experiences loss, but I experienced a lot of loss at an early age. A lot of the boys, like a lot of my close friends, like passed away. So it kind of it was a song for them. It was a song about that. But the one genre that I listen to that impacts me or like makes me feel things way more than any other genre is gospel, right? But there are like Fred Hammond songs and stuff like that. Like you just can't emulate that feel in any other genre. Like I don't know what it is, and honestly, I'm actually not religious anymore, and I just don't know. I think there's something about that feeling, or
you reckon you can't get that from reggae? Some reggae.
Do you know what? Like no, I don't. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. I think. I can't explain it. I really can't explain it, and I'm sure there are like philosophers and theorists that have a better grasp on it than I do. But when you're there, there's spiritual, and then there's like reggae and stuff is like culturally spiritual, if that makes sense. Whereas there's something about gospel where you play a track, like there's a Fred Hammond song, Clean Heart, I think, and you play that front to back and you're just like you can't, no one can emulate that shit. You have to experience something to make that. And that's kind of what it was. Sad Boys Club was like just something I'd experienced, and that's what I actually didn't think it would work. I didn't think it would work at all. I wasn't going to put on the project. I was like, I wrote that for me, like, do you know what I mean? Because it was shit I needed to get off my chest. I needed to get over. And then my godbrother, a guy called Jeffrey Wine, like incredible. He was the first person that like put me on Justified by JT. He gave me that CD and was like, learn that. And I was like, okay. He helped me with some of the structuring of it, and like after we finished it, put it away, and then I came back to it probably a month later, and I was like, that's gotta go on there, man. That's like, do you know what I mean? That's gotta go on there, like.
It's heavy, man.
So that's how it came about.
Cool.
Shit, beautiful, man. I can't lie.
Cheers, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, honestly.
But yeah, nah, man. Like, also I read that you wanted to get the feeling when listening to the album that like give people a similar feeling to how you felt when listening to like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, for example. Which, listen, that's one of the best albums.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Ever.
It is
in history, hands down.
When was the last time you went back to it?
Sheesh. Probably not in like a year or so. But
Yeah.
this is because, bro, when I listened to it, there was a period of time where I can't explain it. Like, I would listen to it on repeat because it was that good. I was like, bro, the amount of time it must have taken to create that. Like, man said he spent like, I think it's like 1,000 hours on Power. I think on, is it like the drums alone or some shit?
And do you know what? It feels like it.
Yeah.
Bro, this is what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get, bro, projects like that don't come around very often.
I don't think so. I actually think they come once in a lifetime. I don't think, like, to this day, boys, no one has brought something like that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no one has brought, and like the rollout as well. Do you remember the rollout?
The suits, and then Good Fridays.
Yeah,
and
Good
that.
Fridays, and it was just like,
bro.
I
That shit
remember
was insane.
downloading like obviously Feds, whatever.
Listen,
Downloading
don't
that shit
worry
off
about that,
fucking
man.
LimeWire and being at the back of the bus, just like the bus from my school was fucking far. Like, it was long. It was a long one, and it was. I can remember when it came out. Like, in Wales, it rains a lot, but it was cold. I think I just finished rugby and stuff like that, so it was like dark, and I just sat on the bus and I'd put it on, and front to back, and I'd get to the end before I got from my house, and I can just remember being like, "Jeez, fucking man, this guy is just like insane. There's not. Yo, the features. What's mad?
Yeah.
What is mad about that project is." He made the features better artists than they are. Do you know what I mean? Like, to this day, that Nicki verse is her greatest verse. And there's a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason. Like, like, do you know what? Do you know what it takes for Nicki to jump on the track with Jay-Z, Kanye, and Rick, and be the, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
be the standout.
Do you know what I mean?
Verse, like,
do you know what I mean? So I'm like, like, there's. You can't. I don't think anyone will ever do that again. I don't think there'll be a space where someone can get other people on. Rick Ross was talking about his verse on that, and he was saying that he played it to Kanye, and he went, "Do you know what? Yeah, but you can do better." And Rick Ross said he was pissed. He was like, "What do you mean? Were you telling me I could do better? Like, no." And he said he went home. Like, didn't think about it, and the next day he was still annoyed, and then he woke up and then went and rewrote his verse, and that's what came out.
Bro, that verse, I don't think he's topped that verse to this day.
No, he hasn't, bro.
Are you insane?
Insane, absolutely insane. But like I said, and across there's a Cypher the Prince line on there where he's like, met this girl in March. The January, met her in May. She found out about April, so she chose to March. Yeah, and I was like, bro, like, rest in peace to the most fly Prada.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you
you can't. Bro,
bars,
and
it's just bars. It's just bars throughout the whole project. And I listened to it again probably 3 months ago. And I just thought, that's a crazy level of talent that, like, I don't believe that anyone, like, even if you remove the subjective of it, like, what taste is, you put that project on, like, you won't find many people that don't find something there.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. Like,
all of the lights.
Bro.
Yeah.
Again, but that's why I was asking, like, how do you tap into that, like, that feeling? want to create that feeling on this album that came close to that? Like, what did you do? What was the process for you in that?
So I didn't have this in my head, but it was kind of like I feel like the process Kanye had on that was he was creating something that was part of a big story, a big feeling, right? A big, like, there was so much cohesiveness between each song that I feel that's what kind of made it great. And then that was kind of the process I had on this, right? I've got volumes, and I knew, like, whilst I was writing, I was like, does this fall into one of those volumes? Does this say what I want to say but fall into the... And if it doesn't, cool, could be a good song, doesn't make the project. Do you know what I mean? It's okay. It's like, I'll finish the song. Like, we have a rule in the studio. I'm like, if we start it, we finish it. And we don't go home until we finish it. So I'll finish the song, and then I'll be like, I listen to it back over a week, and I'm like, does this fall into what I'm trying to say on this project? No, move it on. Like, it can be a lucid somewhere whenever. But I think that's kind of what I had on this. I had a lot of... there's a lot of where I want people to feel things, right? So, like the voice notes or the conversations or the lightning sound effects that we've got in there, or the Foley like stuff. I'd go out and sit in the fucking rain with like my Zoom and be like, all right, just like record the rain, record like the sounds of ends. I was in Pill once where one of these guys, the guys down there, his name's Warrior, and he's battling with some demons or whatever, like, but like there's a recording, and I'm recording in ends, and he comes round and he's like, yo, hey, like screaming, because he ain't seen me for ages, so he's just like, yo, and it's in the, like, it's in there, like, do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, like, and that's kind of what I did. I felt like I wanted to create, when you put your headphones on, I wanted to create a space, like where these things are happening to you. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
And yeah, that's kind of how I challenge or channeled that even.
God.
Yes. I like that still. I feel like, there's a lot of topics covered on here. One in particular that stood out to me was Death by Nyash.
Yeah.
And I was like, that song for me, how I took it was like, you're talking about like a toxic relationship in which you can't let go, essentially, due to whatever, whether it be Nash or I don't know.
Yeah.
But what's the line you say? I'm the one who holds tears, and then you say, can you find more bygones? I'll write more songs. And I was like, yeah, you're almost saying like, what do you want me to do to stay?
Yeah.
And I was like, where did that one come from? Was that inspired by personal events or just something you wanted to get off?
Yeah, it was inspired by personal events, but it was like, do you know what's so deep about that song is like, it wasn't even that deep, man. Like, so when I wrote Death by Nash, right, and people that have talked to me about it being like, oh my gosh, I sit there and I was like, Ras, was it that deep? Like, and I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm like, fucking hell, man. Like, you were hurting.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, at the time, and I think like that line actually where he's like, still I'm the where I'm like, oh, still I'm the one that holds tears.
Yeah.
It's like me to a T, man. Like, I didn't say nothing. I just was like, all right, cool, wicked, yeah, this is done, like, da-da-da-da. But internally, I was like, this fucking dickhead, like, do you know what I mean, for the whole time. Like, which is like, do you know what I mean? And honestly, that's what that song is. It is that, like, that phrase in a song. But yeah, it came off like a relationship that didn't work. And like, I'm not gonna, if she's listening to this, then she's gonna be like, do you know what, she can be like, this song was about. I was like, honestly, it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep.
Yeah.
But I can remember at the time, and like I said, like that year I was just taking a lot of L's and just blah blah blah. And this was like one L too many.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
all right, cool. Like I'm gonna put this down. And then Manga comes on there and he got it straight away. I didn't even explain the track to him, fam. He just
That's
got it, bro.
mad.
He was like the little help. And like he just like I listened to that, bro.
Mad.
It came through at like 2 a.m. or something like that, and I can remember being like, "Yo, this verse is crazy."
Yeah.
It's
Nah, shout out, man.
Crazy.
crazy.
And honestly, we talk about grime, and I actually just think he's one of the greatest. He's the greatest grime spitter right now. Like if we talk about this day, like in terms of his flow, his ability to storytell, like he's the greatest right now. And like his projects have been the one he did with Louis B, Outsiders.
Oh, what's the one with Merkage Dave? What's the one? I forgot what it's called. But his latest project.
I should know that. Yeah, it's like he's incredible, and he's another one that kind of inspires me to make sure, like when the industry's telling you, yo, people don't want albums, stay true to your shit, fam. Do what you think is good, and I think it works for him. But like he just got like his verse on that just sat in the whole situation is exactly what I wanted.
I got a question. When you're creating, do you like songs anyway? What do you create first, the hook or the verse?
Oh, that's a good question. Verse first, always. Because I'm one of those artists. I've never really struggled with hook making, but like the verse, as long as I know what I'm saying in this, like it's gonna be okay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like as long as I know, I plan out, and the words that I have to say are correct and like on point, the hook I feel will be born out of that, like forever. But yeah, I'm always a first person.
Mad. And what leads you to either sing or rap? Because you can do both, innit?
That's that's a good question. And like, if there are any aspiring musicians or rappers or whatever, or singers that are listening to this, everyone in the world will tell you to pick one. Every single time you put music on.
I'm that man.
You're that guy?
I'm that man.
And do you know what? And do you know what? This is probably the first project where I was like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I was like, I really struggled in placing where I'm at. Am I a rapper? Like, am I a singer? Like, and
that was gonna be one of my next.
It was it. I really struggled. And then for this project, I was like, do you know what? No, man. Like, I've grown up doing both. Like, I was spitting on the playgrounds. Like, I was singing. Like, when I was writing all these songs, they were all singing songs. None of them was rapping songs, right? And then the first rap song I put out was Mad Eddie. Like, and that was it. So I was like, oh, do you know what? Like, and my rap songs performed way better always. Like On the Pursuit, Kings performed better. I can't actually think of the other fucking rap song on there, but Who the Fuck is Lemfrek performed better, and stream wise they did better. And then for this one, I was just like, nah, man. Like, I like doing it. Like, it's part of me. I'm not just gonna put out a rap project. I'm not a rapper. Like, I just didn't feel like that. And then I put out when I put out Play with Silver, and it got like one extra track of the week or whatever. I was like, listen, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm doing it.
When man try to box artists in, say, you need to either sing or you need to either rap. I'm like, bro, don't dictate to artists what they should do. Do you get me?
I get it.
Do you know what it is? I don't dictate.
Yes, you do.
But wait, hold on. I lied, I do. Because I definitely say, to be honest, I don't like when rappers that rap sing.
Yeah, okay, right.
Like the Wretch 3-2s of this world.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate to an extent, like I hear that you can do it and that. but it's not for me, man.
Nah, I hear
Like,
them, but the
if I
difference
wanna-
between that though is Wretch isn't a singer. He's not a singer, right?
Yeah, but there's plenty of rappers that are doing that now, though.
Yeah, but they're not singers, and this is a difference. And I don't want to like be on the record and be like, yo, guys, if you can't sing, don't sing. But
No, say it.
Yo.
Say it with your chest. There's so many sound engineers saving lives out here. Forget them.
Right, but it's the same with rapping, right? I miss the days when rappers could rap, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So if you
yeah.
can't rap, don't rap, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
It's
do find your
diluted.
thing.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
you have a calling to do both, and you can do both,
Broski.
do both, man.
Some people just smoke weed and say, "Oh yeah, I've got a calling to do both."
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Listen. Just express yourself how you want in it. Like,
Yeah.
if that's okay, that's one thing in it. And if people don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I think that's the line, right? If you express yourself how you want, but don't
Yes.
expect when people are like, "Yo, I ain't fucking with this." Don't look at them and be like, "Yo, what?" Like, do you know what I mean? Why not? Do you know
that's
what I mean?
fine.
I think that's where it's a thing. Like that was kind of gonna be my point. Is a thing where like I understand that artists have to create from how they want to express themselves and that's the best place to create from, yeah. But also, don't expect me to enjoy that part. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like fully. Like I prefer bars. I'm a bars man. But yeah. So you kind of touched on it though. What came first, singing or rapping for you?
Oh, singing from like, I was like kid in school that was just like, just sing, like, do you know what I mean? And then it wasn't until like obviously you grow up and singing's not that cool, like, do you know what I mean? That I actually stopped singing in front of people, right? And I
didn't
think
get your girl back in the day.
you are.
You didn't get your girl back.
Listen, Wales is the Wild West, fam. Wales is. Listen, fam. I know 6 instruments. Not one of them got me gal. Not one of those instruments, alright,
swear.
got me
That's
gal.
crazy.
Singing got me no gal. If anything, I actually think it was detrimental to me growing up. Like. The fact that I could sing was like, that can't run.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I wish if like
crazy.
14-year-old me was he'd be like, no man, it's not working.
That's crazy.
Not working. But yeah, it didn't. Yeah, that's not. So singing came first, just because of just the family I was from, and kind of they were all singers.
Yeah.
And then like I just used to rap on I didn't even used to rap in front of many people. It's just on the playground and stuff like that. Everyone's got bars, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And another thing about Wales is, right, the rap style is different there. So my rap style, they weren't really fucking with. No one in the playground was like, yo, and I was like in my school, even though there's a big black community in my school, I was the only black kid for like a long time, like, and then I'd spit, and then they just have some guy that like does some D&B shit, and they'd be like, this guy's fucking sick, like, blah blah blah. They'd be like, oh, this guy's sick, and I'd be like, yo man, like, I got bars. Like, what?
Right. So what? Are you talking about flows or not? Like,
Yeah, kind of like, you know, like drum and bass rapping, like where it's like it's just like quick stuff, quick, not really like saying anything,
Yeah.
and then like I'd come with like some intricate like chip flow or like whatever, and they'd just be like, nah, this ain't it. I can remember Hold Tight Nick Hard. There was a guy called Nick Hard that just used to just spit bare words really quickly, and they loved him, and I can remember being just like watching him one day, just being like, nah, fuck this, like,
Eminem type beat.
it was raw like that, but like, listen, like it made me become the man I am today. So
I feel you still. But yeah, I've taken it back to one of the tracks on the album, Playing with Silver. I wanted to touch on that real quick. Are you talking about a stripper?
How'd you know I'm talking about a stripper?
Because you say spent £5 on this room, but trust we won't be sleeping soon.
Yeah.
You say later on, as you fall down that pole, this feeling won't get old. I'm like,
Oh, it's so cute,
right,
man. I forget
okay.
people read the lyrics.
say less. Say less, say less.
Oh, hold tight, Ange, who is actually gonna like. When I told her this song was about a stripper, she was like, "Okay, well, we're not gonna tell the radio stations that."
That's fucking crazy.
So it's too late now. One extra, you made it track of the week. It's about a stripper. Yeah, it was it was about a stripper, man. It was about
What, they got strippers in Wales?
Yeah, of course. Oh, wait, what do you mean?
I don't know, bro.
Londoners are funny, man. Like, of course it got. But this wasn't even about a stripper in Wales. It was about a stripper in Canada.
Okay.
I can remember. Went on like, oh, this is actually no, it's calm. Went on like a rugby tour to Canada like years ago.
Mad thing.
And that song's about a stripper. I actually can't remember her name though. That's the problem. I still got a snap though. I'll have a look later. But yeah, she's a lovely girl. Absolutely lovely meeting her. And thank you for the song. Like it bangs.
Wait, £5 though? That's how much,
man, and I don't even know why. No, like it was like the whole thing, like the room.
Oh,
like,
I was about to
like, do you know what I
say.
mean? Like do you know what I mean? Bringing her back. I couldn't bring her back to my hotel because we were sharing and stuff like that. And like I wasn't even balling like that in those days. I don't know why I did. I was just steaming. It was one of those moments, right? And I like I'm sure a lot of like any men listening to this that have been to a strip club, what they do is sell you dreams, right? And they're supposed to sell you dreams. That's kind of how they earn their money. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then it was just one of those moments where she just wasn't selling me dreams, and she was just like genuinely like interested. So I was like, alright, cool, alright then. So then you have to kind of ball out when that happens to you. But yeah, that's what it's about a stripper.
Respect.
Yeah, it's about a stripper, man.
Respect. No, I feel that still. I might actually not. Let me relax.
Nah, go on.
I mean,
No,
bro, stripper. Nah, you know what it is? Yeah, I've got this on my bucket list. I've got a dream where I go to a strip club. I'm eating chicken wings and just watching
cheeks
that girl. Yeah, man, just girls going up and down the pole. And I need to make that happen sometimes.
Honestly, yeah, I'd say everyone go do it. Go support that community. They work hard.
Yes, sir.
They work hard.
Hey, man. Essential workers.
I know a few as well. I know a few, and they work harder than anyone. Like
respect.
Listen,
support,
but they're earning though. So
hey man, alright, listen, get your money, queens. Get your money. But yeah,
funny.
Moving on to like tracks like Foreign, where you're just rapping and like one of the bars for me, like one of the best. Like you say, now I'm number one like Kim Jong. French girl want the tip, I can't do wrong. I was like, that's cold still. That's a cold bar.
Like that one went over. Bare people said right. Like like obviously. King Jong earn his French. Yeah. But like knowing, I was like, maybe it's not about.
Nah, you just gotta listen. Do you get me? Like,
take it in.
Oh, I actually really appreciate you for that. I don't think you understand because like,
I'm a bars man like that. Like I like the intricate shit. Like I like to find the little. Just a little shit like that. I like that.
No, I do really appreciate it because like I can remember then going back into the studio and being like, people can't think I can spit, you know.
But you just gotta take that one in like, that one's hard.
Yeah.
That one's
Cheers.
hard.
Thank you.
I like the 6-7 Lex Lurk on there.
Yes.
That bar's cold as well.
That one went over people's heads as well. Thanks, boys. Alright, okay, you guys are like literally just you've made this whole project now. I'm like, cool.
We just appreciate the music.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. I did want you to explain the skit on that one. That one, I think it's something. You said something like rumors. I heard I died the other day.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah.
I actually can't even say it out loud in case they make me take it down.
I can bleep it out.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you can bleep it. It's Tiny Skits.
Who's that?
What's his name? The one that went penned for
Crazy Titch.
Crazy Titch, sorry, not Tiny Skits, Crazy Titch, yeah. For like fucking murder one. It was on an M charge, yeah. Crazy Titch, sorry, yeah, not Tiny Skits.
Wait, what's the thing?
He's like,
that'll be fine though.
yeah, I heard I died the other day.
59, I say less.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm putting that in there because it's just great. Well, guess what? I'm fucking
Nah.
but it was, it actually like it centered the like a weird rumor that went around when I was younger, where it was like basically the same thing. And
People thought you were dead?
Nah, people thought something had happened, and I was like that I got and I was hospitalized or something like that. I can remember being like, what? Nah, fam, I'm like, I'm just chilling, what the hell? And they were like, oh man, that's where we thought I was like, no, I was in uni, bro, like, what the fuck, but yeah, that's what it was, like, nice little salute to Crazy Titch as well.
Oh, there's a couple skits in there then. Yeah, because I think I heard someone else.
Yeah.
And in one of them, I was thinking, is that Big Nasty?
Oh, on which one? There is a clip there. But it's a quick one, bro.
Yeah. It's a very quick one. Still trying to find. Let me see. I think I wrote it down.
I actually can't remember which one is on the.
Yeah, I can't still.
Yeah, I can't remember still.
But yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a lot going on here.
Oh, that guy. I think it's that guy.
Oh no, there is. I think I know what you're on about at the beginning.
Yeah.
Nah, that one is like a viral video that went round of this guy in the street getting his ass fucking handed to him, right? And there's this man, and he's like, he's trying to help him, and then he starts to try and throw like punches at him, and he's like, yo, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I put that in there then because
Nah, that shit's it.
And like that, honestly, that sample, like it was so perfect for that song because, like obviously in like when you do stuff like music and etc. Some people get a bit too comfortable and etc. Especially online, especially in Wales. Wales is just like mad racist, fam. Like you wouldn't believe.
I seen he was beefing someone.
Oh, fam, I beef people all the time. I'm not one of them where like, you know, where people are like, oh no, I'm above this. I ain't above this shit, fam. I will sit there and beef you. I don't care. On Twitter, in front of everyone, in front of your mum, like, do you know what I mean? I don't care. And that's kind of what that guy was born out of. Like, this one time, some guy was just racist online, and there's a skit in the middle where, like, it's an actual voice note that I sent to my cousin, where I'm like,
oh yeah, you say he called you a black.
Yeah, he calls me a black cunt on online, and I'm just like, I'm in work, like I was on a Zoom, and I'm reading this, and I'm like, put my phone down, and I can feel it like bubbling up. So then I was like, nah, fuck this, and like I'm scrolling through his thing. He didn't even do it on private. I was just like scrolling through his Instagram, and I was like, yo, this guy's from like 20 minutes away, you know. And I'm looking, and I'm like, alright, say no more. Sent his profile to people, and then
that's mad.
But don't want to incriminate myself too much. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
stepped in the ring.
That's mad.
But then the second part where he's like, where I'm like, oh, okay, I'll spin the block. What you got? That's me being like, alright, cool then, alright, wicked. Like, let me hop in the whip. Let me see what you're saying now. Like, do you know what I mean? But. Actually, it's not even incriminating. Hold tight, that man. If he's watching this, you're a fucking dickhead, and I hope your car is still fucked.
That's crazy.
Tell the feds. Go on.
Crazy. That's crazy. Whoa. I mean,
Oh
shit.
god, pussy.
Fuck you. Okay.
No, he went every word. I feel it, man. I feel it,
Fair
bro.
play.
I feel it,
Oh
fam.
god.
Nah, I hear him.
But it is part of a deeper, darker like part of Wales. Like obviously,
Yeah.
because even though there's a large black community, it's not that diverse. So the racism, fam, is racism. Like it is next level. Like you wouldn't believe.
That's mad though.
Like,
Swear.
he wouldn't
So
be-
what, like, what generally, like?
Oh, bro, like I didn't realize how racist Wales was until I came to London and realized that London's not like there's no racism. Like it's not no racism here, but it's not that. And then, it really made me then realize I was like, yo, what the whole of the UK ain't like this? Like what? Like, jeez. It's just mad. It's mad. It's like one of my boys, Sage, had a swastika like done on his house once.
Wait,
like
what?
fam, like when I was a kid, I'm fighting for my life, bro. Like I got kicked out of schools because like I'm just like it was just and obviously there were schools where there were like my cousin went to like a school that had a lot of black people in there and stuff like that. But like when you're in one of these schools that don't have that many, fam, you are fighting for your life, bro,
Swear
every
down.
day. And then, but it is what it is. It's a result of like the narrative, the fact that it's not that diverse around there and etc. So they're still like it's still 1970s Britain in some parts around there. Bro.
What about the street stuff? Did it mix culturally, or was it still segregated?
Yeah, it was. So if you're in like Pil Gwentley, it's like a lot more like mixed and stuff like that. But like a lot of all the like the richer people are out in the the burbs and stuff, right?
Okay.
So, but in Pil, there's like you had a lot of like Polish, you had a lot of like Asian and black community there, whereas like some in St. Julian's as well. A lot of the Asian community was in St. Julian's. So it like on the streets calm, but then like the further out you go, like obviously we played rugby as well. Like I'd be going to some matches. I can remember playing one match and I'm literally about to score a try and I get tackled off the like someone's parent just comes and fucks me up off the sideline. Like, do you know what I mean? Bro, it was actually kind of funny, but at the same time, I was like fucking like, and he was just like got up and was just like black prick, like, and I was like,
What the?
do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to like, and now I'm scrapping like 40-year-olds, fam. Like, do you know what I mean? It's one of, it's one of those, like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's crazy still.
That's
And like
insane.
I was a Marga youth as well, bro. So like some of them, I had to take a few L's, like, but it's just it's just the place. It's just like that's it, man. Honestly, it's like it's just like that. Whole type Gwent police as well, who are also fucking pricks, but like that's a bigger thing where they're just like
Fair play.
like the racism coming from that place is just like it's too
Is Gwen the area?
yeah, Gwent's the area,
okay,
and that's where like that's where kind of I grew up and stuff. But yeah, man, they're the lot. They're catching case at the moment for killing a young black kid.
What?
Yeah, like they've actually got a high rate of like black males dying in custody, which is
In Wales?
yeah, it's actually mad. Like, and people don't know this. Like, but you can all search it. There's a Netflix show on the Cardiff Five, who were all just like the it was actually Cardiff police planted false evidence to get them charged for a murder charge and stuff like that. They did a stretch and like it's bad down there. It's very bad, but I know it's
What
it's
the-
bad everywhere. Yeah,
Oh my, bro,
That's crazy.
Wales is small as it is,
yeah, man.
so I'm surprised like shit like that isn't more publicized.
It's got a lot of problems. Like obviously, like Swansea was the worst like for drug use in the UK for a long time. There's a Vice documentary on it called Swansea Love Story. Like heroin and stuff like that is like mad down there. County lines, obviously we know how it is, but it's like mad around there. So yeah, it's like it's a result of a lot of things, but it's struggling with a lot. It's very underfunded. Like all the money that it does make is then taken by the English, so it's like it's a bit a bit mad by down there, but like. And that's kind of why I do what I do. I think this is why I tell those stories and put those like little skits and stuff in there. Is because like otherwise no one's gonna hear about it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like no one. Like, why would anyone? Like, do you know what I mean? True. It's a small country. It's just like off to the side a little bit. So that's kind of why I still do the rap stuff and I'm still probably as brazy as I am in my lyrics for the rap stuff, because like someone's got to do it.
What you saying? Do you miss home, or do you prefer like London and that?
Miss home, 100%. All my people are there, my community's there, my boys are there. I love London, and like it's like the greatest city in the world. I truly believe that. But it's not home. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like like. Do you know what I mean? I can't go down there and be like, oh, remember the memories from that time, or like do you know when this guy chased us down there, blah blah blah. Like I can't do that here. Do you know what I mean? So, and obviously, like I feel like, obviously one day there's a bigger picture where I want to create something, but I feel like my people at home still dealing with the shit that they have to deal with. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of don't want to feel like I'm leaving them or leaving them to battle that on their own. Do you know what I mean? So I think about that some days. So, but yeah, I miss it.
In terms of the skits, like back to the project, like how did you, like, so would some of them kind of fit the kind of experiences that you're talking, and like basically what's the order and what you, like how you create the skits and figured out where they need to go and whatnot, because there's a couple skits throughout.
Yeah. That's they're based on things like I experienced, or they're based on the story I want to tell. So the opening, the YTU 13 one is like an old like clique like from Wales that they used to rap like and stuff, yeah. And they were probably the biggest from those grime days. And like I wanted that at the beginning because I wanted people to know that like this is what I'm born out of. Do you know what I mean? This is what this has been created out of. And also like I put them in so when people from ends listen to the stuff, they get that sense of home, or say they're no longer home. There's things like those videos where they'd know from watching YouTube when they were younger or whatever that they'd be able to connect with. For that guy, that one, that literally just like was the most perfect skit I could even have like found, right? Because I had already written the track, and then I placed that one, not the voice note, the one at the beginning where he's like, does he know who I am? Was like, that was... Because that was how I was feeling at the time, right? Do you know what I mean? I was like, these people just think I'm just like some musician, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they don't know anything about us. My cousin as well, a guy called Ashton, Welsh rugby player, like really sick. He gets so much racism online, like you wouldn't believe, man. And it's brazy shit, fam. It's like nuanced, like horrendous shit, like, do you know what I mean? Not even like just like saying black this, black that. It's very like crazy, and he gets it daily. So it was kind of one of those where I was like, listen, you guys don't know, like, yeah, cool, we're on TV and stuff, brilliant, yeah, great. You don't know like where we like who we are, like you don't know that, like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Or like straight up, like, so it was kind of one of those. That track was there to put out to world to be like, listen, okay, I understand that, like, you've got things to say to us online or blah blah blah, but understand where we came from. We haven't come from nice places, so don't do that, please. Like, do you know what I mean? Calm down a second. Like, so yeah, that was it really. And yeah, that skit then just like kind of just came to me, and I was like, that's got to go in. But
I get you. I get it still. Yeah, like even on like samples, what's the song? Is it Red Hot? You sample Tyler, the creator. What's the beat? Yonkers.
Yonkers, yeah.
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 I mean, yeah. That one's tough still.
Yeah, that one was actually meant to be a placeholder as well, because I wanted that. I can remember that day where Yonkers came out and everyone was sharing it, like, do you know what I mean? Have you seen the video to Yonkers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I can just remember, like, that's how I wanted it to feel. And then I put the sample in as a placeholder, and then I was like, wait, I don't need to get the sample cleared. This is a free sample, like, from Ableton.
Really?
So I was like, hey, that's a no to Tyler there, like, do you know what I mean? And he's also another person that I really, like, I'm really inspired by, especially in terms of how he's developed his sound and how, like, he's really learned his craft, like, to become better. And we're seeing it now, like, Igor, incredible project, and then Call Me If You Get Lost is actually my favorite Tyler project. Do you know what I mean? I'm still spinning that to this day. Like, do you know what I mean? So, it was a kind of a little nod to Tyler and what he's kind of done for me.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, no, he's dope still. He's dope. Okay, just rounding off the questions about the album as well. The cover. I wanted to ask about that, because like how I saw that was like body just running into an abyss of some sort, and like you've named it Blood, Sweat and Tears. So how does like the cover art correlate into the title as well? Just because
so sorry, blood, sweat, and it's fears.
Oh, sorry, my
so it's okay.
bad.
It's a really annoying. It's an annoying thing. But the only reason I said that is because it connects into it. So that have you ever heard the song Through the Fire?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of like that song is kind of what I'm trying to depict there.
Okay.
And it's actually like me, my boys, like my community, my family, like wandering through this, like what I would say is like not hell, but this hardship. Like, but I visualized it as a hell, right? As a fire, as an abyss, with not knowing we'll get out the other side. And there have been people that haven't gotten out the other side. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like,
I felt like a double entendre for me as well, though.
Yeah, that's kind of like where it's then come from, if that makes sense. It's kind of like blood, sweat and fears. It's like right, we put all our effort, all our like livelihoods and stuff into making a better life for ourselves, right? And that's this moment that we're in. That's this fire. That's this abyss that we're currently and that's what the whole project kind of falls into.
Okay, is the album structured in a way where there's a section? Is blood the first part?
Yeah.
Sweat and then fears the last.
Yeah. So blood is that part is just telling people who I am and like what, like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of in a novel, the bit that sets up the protagonist to be like, listen, this is the person that's telling this story, right? You can make your own decision on what sort of human that is. So for example, like in Red Hot, hiding peas from the government. I'm not hiding peas from the government, by the way.
Just to put it out. Just to put that out.
But cash on bookings.
Clearly.
But I also never lie on my lips. Anyway, so and then like Play with Silver, where like I'm that guy that would go like take a stripper on a date, do you know what I mean? Or Into the Storm is a good one where I talk about how, or amongst all of this, I'm still like a bit of a dickhead, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not getting it right, do you know what I mean? So that's what that is. Blood is me, is setting up everything around that, right? And then Sweat is the effort that I go through. So that's why that whole section is just a rap section. There's no singing songs there. I think the start of Sweat is a dark tape where it's like, don't call my line, I'm here missing. And then you go to that guy and it's like Hennessy and Enemies, whatever. And then what I then go from there is the fears, is because, right, you know, on the track after, I think, oh no, sorry, Death by Nash, where I'm saying I'm the one that holds tears. I changed fears because I don't, like, even though I should and I need to learn to cry and instead all I'm doing is holding this thing in and is like kind of keeping that shit to myself. But these are the fears that I'm currently dealing with. And it like addresses love and it seems like what's mad, this like, it seems like, especially after, it's like it's a nice song, it's like poppy or whatever, like people say, like very R&B, See Me Now, very nice, but like the shit that I'm talking about is still not like, it's not like nice. Do you know what I mean?
It's not.
But yeah, I think Clearer as well, I think like the rap part in Clearer kind of addresses that whole bit. But yeah, they're split into the sections.
God.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, when you break it down like that, yeah, that's crazy.
But it's cool. Like that was kind of for me. Like I don't necessarily, and I actually hesitated even at like saying that because I don't want to force this shit on other people sometimes. Like I like, you get from it what you get from it. Like, do you know what I mean? That was like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yo, there's nuances in this and this, and this is what you should be feeling when you feel the song or blah. I'm like, cool. Like this is just kind of how I've broken it down for myself. But like whatever you get from it, if the first section is about fears for you, that's cool, man. That's like, do you know what I mean? You got something from it, and I think that's all that I want on this whole thing.
But it's great to hear you break it down because it fills in the blanks in which some people may not get like what certain things mean, or they may have their own interpretation, like you said. But man, that's dope. That the album is sequenced that way still. I fuck with that heavy. Man. But man. I think that's all the questions I had. I can't lie. Like, I'm trying to think. Is there nothing I haven't touched on? On the last track, I'll be searching to find my worth in women that are undeserving. Damn. I mean, why though? Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And do you know what? The next line as well is, and still I'll be deserting, but still I'm after that cake. They say the time's running, and honestly, like, I don't know. And do you know what? You know, when you're younger and you write a story and it's like, oh, and then I woke up. Like, if that song, Blood, Sweat, Fears, like the outro, is a, and then I woke up moment. It's a, oh great, I've just wasted 40 minutes of everyone's time. I am a change. I am a fucking change. I'm just saying, you dickhead, bro. And I don't have any answers to any of the shit I've just talked to you about. Like, and that's kind of what it is. It's kind of like, I'm realizing that, yes, I've just gone through this journey of like self-reflection, but then at the end of it, I'm still trying to find my worth in women that are undeserving. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
it's aren't your man.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's one of those. It's one of those. But like, also sometimes, I think it was important because you don't have to have the answer, man. You don't have to have the answer. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, life's hard. It is what it is. On to the next one, innit? Like, on to the next mistake. Like, do you know what I mean?
Word. Because that's how you learn ultimately, through making mistakes, I guess. So yeah, man. But yeah, that was dope still. Like, I remember listening to it and I was saying to Aris like, this project is cold, man. This project is cold. And the fact that you produced this all, writ it all, is writ even a word?
Wrote it.
Whatever.
You got it. Same thing. Same thing.
But the fact that you've done that all on your own, it's dope still.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys, man.
Dope.
Honestly, I've like genuinely. This has made the whole process, because like I said, this is the first time I've really sat down like with people to like talk about it, and it's been great. So thank you for doing your research as well. Like you guys like listen to those lyrics, but yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Nah, man.
Yeah, man.
It's dope. Still, it's dope. But yeah. Quickly, who are you listening to right now?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a good fucking question. I listened to that. I haven't listened to it again. The Travis album.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's okay. It was like it starts off so well, and then kind of just like
fades away,
and it's a bit incoherent as well. And some of the good tracks that were leaked, they made them shit. Like, do you know what I mean? That one with West Side Gunning, they made it shit. What? Like that was the leaked version was gully. Like I was playing that like 2 minutes, and then this one's kind of like. And Sampha's only in it for one line. Really, like
I mean, it works.
It does, but that's the best part of the whole song. Like, do you know what I mean?
I like the beat switch on it. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, do it like that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
But like, if we're talking not new, the Mustafa project, I'm still.
I need to tap into.
Listen, guys. You know how we were talking about earlier about like what gospel does and there's a feeling and blah blah blah. that guy, as a lyricist, incredible. Obviously, he was poet laureate of Canada when he was like 14.
Yeah.
And then decided to sing, and that some of the stuff, you feel it, man.
Is it R&B?
It's don't be put away with it off by this, but it's folk. It's folk with R&B tendencies, if that makes sense. So like the way he sings the words is R&B, right? But the music around it's not. It's a lot of like guitars and like blah blah blah. But he's got a track called The Hearse. And if you watch the video, it went viral because people were like, yo, the video doesn't match the music. Because it's got like all this mandem there, like throwing up gun signs and like and stuff like that. But he's talking about like how he would die and how he'd kill for them and and it's so folky. It's got like a little like guitar, like acoustic guitar.
What's his name again? Sir?
Mustafa. Yeah,
okay.
But honestly, boys, I'm not joking. Like that project is you'll listen to it and then you'll be like, yo, man, I gotta go sit down, fam. Like it's a bit mad.
We've got a playlist, so 2 songs. If you got 2 songs.
Oh, 2 songs. I don't know if I want to put those on. Like everyone start crying. But yeah, that project is really good. I really like. Kalila's new one, and then
Raven.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was a good project. And then Mariba as well. I'm probably spinning that quite a lot. Her last one with the moon on, which is but yeah, those are the ones, man.
Yeah, Zero Tolerance by Big Hollow. Oh no, yeah.
I haven't heard it.
Cold. You listen to gigs?
Yeah, I do. You know, but not as late after that Georgia Smith collab one.
It's working.
Yeah,
I'm working. Sorry,
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it?
Too much. No, I was just like, but to be fair, right?
That's fair.
Like Georgia, at that point for me as well was a bit. I wasn't really. Now can I just say, the last 2, the single run is crazy. That she's working with the production house. I keep forgetting their name, but bro, the last 2 singles.
Yeah, I thought. Not the one where it's like
it's the
the one with Neo Archives.
That's
that one's fire.
Oh, it's mad. But
I fuck with that still.
But let's wrap up still.
Cool.
Playlists. 2 songs of the playlist.
Fucking hell, that's
you can obviously pick some songs of the new project that you've dropped.
That's hard. I'd say we'll put that guy on there because I feel like that
was one of the songs I would say.
Yeah, we'll put that guy, and then from someone else, I'm gonna go The Hearse, Mustafa. Oh nah, do you know what? Goat, Sampha. his latest one. We're gonna go with that one.
Cool.
It's called something 2.0.
Say less.
But yeah, those are the two I'll probably put on.
He's supposed to drop an album this year, bro.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this week, but I think they pushed it.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
by Gigs off the new tape.
strong.
Hold on. Spider-Man.
Then I think I'm gonna go with Foreign as well. Sweat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Foreign, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go over After. And then this Mick Jenkins album, The Patience, yeah, bro.
So sick.
Listen,
He's so sick.
yeah.
Scottie Pippen, that off the last project
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Oh, he's rapping there, isn't he? Son?
Yeah.
Mick Jenkins is
He-
crazy.
You know, he
cold.
produced that as well. You know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
he produced it as well. Him and Serpent with Feet. He was
Yeah,
rapping,
nah.
bro.
Nah. On this new one, yeah,
Alright.
he's talking this shit. I'm gonna add Pasta off here. Yeah.
Say less.
But yeah, man, this is dope. Still, this is very dope. This is very dope.
It's another one.
Thank you guys.
Another one.
Another one, man.
Yeah, where can people find you?
You can find me Lemfreck on everything. LEMFRECK.
Yes,
But yeah,
sir.
across all socials, you'll find me everywhere. You know, I'm doing my thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got a show now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a
Sold out
headline show. I got sold out show in Cardiff. So
Cool.
you can't get tickets for that. I'm sorry, like even
Hey, that's big though.
I've
That's
been
big,
booting
that's big,
people
that's
off
big.
guest lists as well. It's that peak. So
That's
I
big
think I've got like 5 people on guest list. But then in London, I think there were 15 tickets left for that show. You're both
Okay.
invited, of course. You can jump on that one. But
Sick.
that's at the social on the 31st of August, so in 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Cold.
Alright, say less. Say
Cold.
less.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
sick.
Bet. Oh shit, we didn't even do an intro.
Yeah, man. And I wanted to add, I don't know if you've seen the bios, but the only podcast that is
Yeah.
focused on the art of the music, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I feel like this is another episode that showed that, so
Exactly.
go run it up, leave a review, rate, go check out Lemfreck as well, man.
Yeah, man.
And yeah,
New album, Blood, Sweat and Fears. I don't know.
trust me. We gone.
Yeah.
We gone, man.
Hey, yeah, yeah.